Ein feste Burg ist unser Gott. BWV is a church cantata by Johann Sebastian Bach. He composed the chorale cantata in Leipzig for Reformation Day, the 31st of October, first performed between 1727 and 1731. It is based on Martin Luther's hymn, Ein feste Burg ist unser Gott. History in words. Bach wrote the cantata in Leipzig for Reformation Day. The cantata's inception is largely unknown. It was probably composed in 1723 or between 1728 and 1731. It is a simplified version of Ein feste Burg ist unser Gott. BWV. It is based on the earlier Alles was von Gott geboren. BWV. All the music for BWV is lost, but it is known that it was based on a text by Salomo Frank and produced in Weimar in 1715 or 1716. BWV includes all four stanzas of Luther's chorale, scoring and structure. The cantata is scored for four vocal soloists, a four-part choir, two oboes, two oboe d'amore, oboe da caccia, two violins, viola, violoncello and basso continuo. The work has 8 movements. Chorus: Ein feste Burg ist unser Gott. Aria and duet: Alles was von Gott geboren. Recitative: Ein Arioso, Erwage doch, kind Gottes. Aria: Komm in mein Herzenshaus. Chorale: Und wenn die Welt voll Teufel war. Recitative: Ein Arioso, so steht den bei Christi Blut gefarbten Fahne. Duetto: Wie selig sind doch die Gott im Munde tragen. Chorale: Das Wort sie sollen lassen stehen. Music: The cantata opens with a chorale fantasia with contrapuntal devices of awe-inspiring complexity. It adopts the motet technique of having the instrument and vocal lines follow each other closely. Structurally, the movement repeats the first 2 phrases, adds 4 new shorter phrases, then concludes with another iteration of the second phrase, all performed on oboe. All 4 voices discuss each phrase imitatively as a prelude to its instrumental entry, using fugal devices. Craig Smith suggests that, in a genre in which Bach was the absolute master, this is probably the greatest motet chorus. Wilhelm Friedemann Bach later added trumpet parts to this movement. In the second movement, the oboe and soprano perform an embellished version of the chorale while the bass sings an aria. The accompanying string ritornello is agitated and relentless, in a form reminiscent of a concerto grosso. Simon Crouch compares it to a machine gun. Like the first movement, the duet is in D major and common time. The bass next sings a secco recitative and arioso, the only components of the cantata in a minor key. It adopts canonic imitation between the voice and continuo parts. The fourth movement is a soprano aria with a continuo ritornello. It is characterized by extensive melismas and a floating and ethereal melody. The central chorale presents the chorale theme in unison voices, an unusual practice for Bach. The melody is unadorned and in 6/8 time. The orchestral accompaniment becomes more agitated and complex as the movement progresses. The tenor recitative is secco, like the earlier bass. It concludes with an arioso. The movement includes occasional furious melismas. The alto and tenor duet is accompanied by continuo and obbligato violin with oboe da caccia. The movement is submissive in character with a texture that becomes more complex as the duet progresses, at one point including 5 simultaneous melodic lines. Bach uses a juxtaposition of flowing, largely semi-quaver instrumental parts with the vocal crotchet quaver rhythms to depict the shield of the faithful. The final movement is a 4-part setting of the chorale. Recordings: Amsterdam Baroque Orchestra and Amp Choir, Ton Koopman, J.S. Bach, Complete Cantatas Volume 22. Antoine Marchand, Heinrich Schutz Chor Heilbronn, Pforzheim Chamber Orchestra, Fritz Werner, Les Grands Cantates de J.S. Bach Volume 5. Ereto 1959.